fam, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a new video for you guys and I'm very excited. I'm going to be doing a half high-end, half drugstore makeup tutorial. These are some of my favorite videos to watch and I realized I have not done one in a very long time, so I thought I would sit down and do one today, and I actually asked my friend V to do it along with me. So this is a collab. I would love for you guys to go check out her channel. She is so sweet. She's so nice. I love her personality and I love who she is, and she is a smaller channel. So I think it'd be so awesome if we could go and show her some support. Check out her video. She's also going to be doing a half high-end, half drugstore makeup tutorial. Thank you, V, for doing this with me. Seriously, I adore you. You are the sweetest girl in the world, and I so appreciate you doing this with me. Definitely check her video out. I can't wait to see it. I'll definitely link it down below so you guys can check her out, and be sure to subscribe to her. This is the look that I came up with today, and I really, really love it, you guys. I think it's a pretty good half high-end, half drugstore side of my face. I'm not going to tell you which side is which. I would love for you to leave a comment right now letting me know which side do you think is my high-end side and which side is my drugstore side. Let me know if you'd like to see more of these videos. And lastly, be sure to head to my Instagram and Twitter because I have giveaways going on both of those this week. I'd love for you to follow me and win some cool stuff. Without further ado, let's get on with the video. So first, to start off, we need to prep our face. A product I've been loving lately is by Makeup Forever. This is the Ultra HD Skin Boost. It's a priming serum, so it helps to prep your skin, it helps to hydrate, and it helps to, I think it says plump. Yes, it plumps, it hydrates, and all that. So I just want to take this and do just what it says. Use it to prep my skin for the makeup. This one's a little bit more of a thicker consistency, as you can tell. It's a serum, and it definitely does turn into more of like a oily feeling serum, but when you are first placing it on your skin, it is like thicker. On my drugstore side, I'm going to try this product. I believe it's brand new from e.l.f. Cosmetics, and I've actually never used it before, so I don't know how it is. This is the e.l.f. Beauty Shield Antioxidant Enriched Vitamin C Pollution Prevention Serum, which is like, wow. Sounds super nice. It has, yeah, vitamin C, vitamin E. This one is a lot more clear. It almost looks like water, as you can tell. I can like smell, oh, it's quite liquidy compared to the other one. Oh yeah, it's like, oh God, Lord, don't get in my eye. Okay, this one is much more watery. So not saying it's made of water, because it actually really smells like vitamin C, but it definitely was a much thinner consistency compared to the Makeup Forever. Next, to prep before our foundation and everything else, I'm going to use the IT Cosmetics CC Cream. This totally can be worn alone, but a lot of people do like to use it under their foundation because you end up, it sounds silly, but you end up using less foundation because the coverage in this is so good. Plus, you can get your SPF from this, which you really can't sometimes in your foundation if your foundation doesn't have SPF. But I really love this because it has great skin ingredients and it's just a good neutralizer. So I'm going to go ahead and just with my fingers apply a little bit of this to my face in preps for our foundation. On my drugstore side, I'm going to use a similar product, but from the drugstore, of course. This is the Rimmel Insta Flawless Perfecting Radiant Skin Tint. It has broad spectrum SPF 15, so not the 50 like the IT Cosmetics, but it does have an SPF 15 in here. And it says it gives you a natural looking glow, 24-hour moisturization, and it primes and perfects. So you can use it as a primer, just like I did with the CC Cream, which I think it's pretty cool that a drugstore brand came out with something like this. So mine is in the shade light to medium. And again, just with my fingers, I'm going to go ahead and apply that. Whoa, this one has quite a fragrance. I like it, but it has quite a fragrance. Next, for foundation, I'm going to use my MAC Cosmetics Studio Fix Fluid SPF 15. This is in the shade NC25. I want to use this on my high-end face side, of course, right on top of that CC cream. And like a layer of that CC cream, a layer of foundation, and my skin is looking flawless. But I love that it stays hydrated and feels ultra protected from the SPF. With the IT Cosmetics CC Cream, so I think that's something to bear in mind. On my drugstore side, like I said, I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. This is in the shade Golden Beige. I don't think they're exactly matched. I think my MAC Cosmetics, the NC25, is a little bit deeper. So I'm sorry if it looks funny, but I tried to match as closely as possible. And to apply that, I'm actually using a new sponge from e.l.f. Cosmetics, so I'm excited. I've never used this before. It feels super like dense. And I'm just going to stipple that onto my face. The Wet n Wild already did not cover quite as much, and I love the Wet n Wild, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying anything bad about it, but I do need an extra pump here, where with the MAC side and the IT Cosmetics side, I really didn't need another pump. Just to get my full coverage, you know, because I do have some redness on my skin and some acne scars and such that I like to keep covered. Next, for concealer, I'm going to use the NARS, like classic, commonly used Custard concealer. It's their Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Custard. I'm sorry, I didn't say that very well. And I'm going to use this underneath my eyes. As you guys know, it has great correcting properties. It's just a really nice, lovely yellow tone. I'm going to go ahead and blend that in with my Sigma Beauty 3D HD sponge. And instantly I just love this coverage. I think you just can't go wrong with this concealer. Then on my drugstore side, I'm going to use the Wet n Wild, the Photo Focus Concealer that matches the foundation. Well, not shade-wise. Shade-wise, this is the shade Light Ivory. So it might be a little bit lighter than the NARS Custard was. Yes, I believe it definitely is. But I thought as far as concealer goes, this is probably the most comparable in my opinion, like coverage-wise, consistency-wise. So I'm going to blend that in with that same e.l.f. Beauty sponge. And the coverage is definitely decent as well. Like, I could definitely swap out this Wet n Wild's concealer for the NARS any day, and I don't think I would miss the NARS. Next to set my under eyes, you guys, I'm going to use the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Translucent. I'm not going to bake. I'm just going to use it to set. This might be one of those ones that leaves kind of a white cast. I was trying to do my best to find, you know, similar products for each eye. I'm going to take it with my Sigma Beauty Taper Blending F86 brush. I'm just going to use this to set in that concealer. So not bake necessarily, but I just want to set it. And then on the set, I'm going to do the exact same thing with the e.l.f. Beauty Sheer Powder, the Sheer Translucent Powder. Mine just like fell apart, so I have translucent powder everywhere now. And I'm going to set that in as well. Sometimes when I use these translucent powders, just to make sure they don't leave a white cast, I like to take a dry brush with literally nothing on it. This is the Sigma Titanium Duo Fiber F50. And I'm going to just blend that out and make sure it is nice and seamless. I think I'm actually going to stay with the Makeup Forever Translucent Powder to set this side of my face, because I might still want to work with a cream product later. I don't want to put too much like powder foundation on. From here, let's jump onto our brows. I'm going to take the Anastasia Brow Wiz in the shade Medium Brown to fill in my brows on my high-end side. It's just been a classic brow pencil that I've used for years and years and years. Always serves me well. So just using that to fill in my brow and extend it just ever so slightly back. And then of course spoolie that in so it has a nice natural flow to it. On my drugstore side, I'm going to take the Maybelline Micro Brow Pencil. This is in the shade, I don't see a shade name, but it has kind of a taupey shaped lid. And I'm going to do the same with this brow pencil. And I've actually really been loving this brow pencil lately. When I don't use my Anastasia, this tends to be the one that I use. It's just so great to me, in my opinion. It lasts just as long, it's thin, it's automatic, you know, it has the spoolie, and it's drugstore. Much better price range, price point. And they have a good color selection from my memory. I believe they even had like, I believe they even had like good shades for redheads, which is not always so common. And I know this because my sister's a redhead, and she has a hard time finding products sometimes that really work for her. And so I'm like, girl, get you that Maybelline pencil. It's a little bit more waxy than the Anastasia, but it's nothing that, like, I mean, it would never stop me from using it. Like, it still works just fine. For brow gel on my high-end side, I'm going to take the Makeup Forever Brow Gel in the shade number 15. It's a little bit more of a taupey color, or is this the blonde one? Okay, it's kind of blonde, I won't lie, but it's the closest thing I have to my drugstore shaded brow gel, so we're just going to use this really quick. And honestly, I don't think it matters. It's just to groom the hair and kind of hold everything nicely in place. Sometimes I like that they're lighter too, so you don't overcake your brows. On my drugstore side, and I actually love this brow gel, I've talked about this a lot, this is the Maybelline Brow Drama in the shade Soft Brown, but in my opinion, it's a little taupey. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that. Yeah, this one might be a few shades darker than the Makeup Forever one, so I'm sorry for that. But it'll get the job done. I think I'm going to keep going with the face before we move to the eyes. So for contour, for contour, let's do the high-end side first. I'm going to take this I'm Mimi bronzer stick. It's actually in, I believe it's in Korean. Yeah, made in Korea in the shade 20, it looks like. This is what it looks like here. And we're going to use this on my cheek and temples. I'm going to do it lightly because I have a habit of getting carried away with the cream contours and such. So I'm also going to fill it in here. And just a little along the jawline because I'm a savage. I'm going to take my Sigma Beauty 3D HD sponge. I'm going to take the sharper side. That's what I like to use on my contour because it keeps it really like, I don't know. I just really like it. And I kind of just rub it back and forth and blend up with it. And to me, that blends it very naturally. And then also on the temples back into my hairline. I felt like that kind of disappeared on my cheek or on my cheekbone there. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. On my drugstore side, I'm going to take this one here by Maybelline. This is the Master Contour Face Studio. It's actually a duo. They have, it has like a yellow side and then a bronzer side, or your highlighter and your bronzer. So I'm just going to use the bronzer side, and it's a little bit deeper than, oops, I got a little highlight on there. That was a little bit difficult. And I'm going to blend that out with my e.l.f. Cosmetics sponge. Weirdly enough, I kind of like the Maybelline bronzer better. Cream bronzer, but I don't know, we'll have to see at the end. I like that. I'm really into creams right now, I realize. So for blush on my high-end side, I want to take the STILA Cosmetics Peony Cream Blush. It's been one of my favorites for years and years and years. I used to use this on everybody who I could do their makeup because it's just so beautiful to me, and I love that you can use it on the cheeks, you can use it on the lips, so it's just very, it's very versatile, and it looks good on so many people. And they have a nice shade range too. I'm still going to take that with my Sigma Beauty 3D HD sponge because creams are just so easy to apply with a sponge, and I'm going to run that into my cheek area. Give us a nice flush of color. Do you know who I'm obsessed with? Well, first off, I've been in love with her for years, but I'm a ginormous Kate Middleton fan. And I just have to say, I love how she wears her blush like right up on the apples of her cheeks. And it's so funny because everybody says not to wear blush like that, and because it actually ages you and this and that. But she always has just like these pink cheeks, and I think it's adorable. So I just had to say that. Ah, I love it. I love it. For the drugstore side, I'm going to use something I've never tried before. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Blush in the shade 803 Floral Majority. It's actually still even sealed because I've literally never used it. I've been dying to bust these out, so I'm excited to try this. And it's really cute. You know, it's on a stick. That makes it nice and easy. So let's just go ahead and line that up next to it. And I'm going to blend that in with that sponge again. I love a cream blush. Like, doesn't it just make you look so just, oh, I don't know. Like, just really healthy in the cheeks, I think. This one is definitely a little bit more sheer compared to the STILA. But I still love the color. I think that's just as beautiful. Oh, I do really like that. Since we're kind of using the cream and liquid situation, I want to apply a little bit of liquid highlighter. This is the Urban Decay Naked Skin highlighter in the shade Sin. I bought this a few months ago. I haven't used it that much, so I've been dying to use it again. I'm going to go ahead and apply it right where I would want a little bit of highlight, my natural highlight points. And I'm going to go a little bit above my brow to kind of make that a little shape, you know. You can, of course, use your sponge. I'm just going to use my finger directly at this point to blend that in. And I do love that this is blending in so nicely on top of the powder I laid down and everything. Nothing's really stopping it. On my drugstore side, I'm going to take this one from e.l.f. Cosmetics. It is a new product, and I threw out the freaking box. I'm so mad at myself because I didn't realize it didn't have like writing on it. I couldn't let you guys know what the shade name is or whatever. I believe it's new, and I will link it down below if I can find it on their website or such. This one's like a pour out. It looks a little oily in there, but it looks like it'll work. Just so you can see, this is the e.l.f. one, and this is the Naked Skin Urban Decay one. I think they're going to be very similar. So I'm going to take the e.l.f. one right up on my highlight point. Oh, that is so glowy and dewy. I think the e.l.f. side actually even is like a little bit more glowier than the Urban Decay one was, which is interesting. I'm going to set that with the translucent powder again, just so it doesn't like, you know, melt your foundation off and stuff. Okay. For eyeshadow primer, I'm going to take the Urban Decay Original Primer Potion on my high-end eye. Just gonna get a little dab on my finger. Primer Potion is always just a classic, you know. Also gonna use the NYX HD Eyeshadow Base, which I've used for years, on the drugstore side of my face. And it's actually like a great dupe for Urban Decay because it's also vegan. I am so excited about what we're going to use on the eyes, you guys. So for the drugstore side, I want to use the Au Naturel Wet n Wild palette in the shade Nude Awakening. This is like my favorite palette from the drugstore right now. And I thought it had some very comparable shades too. Don't kill me, but I thought it'd be fun to use this because people, you know, they feel a certain type of way about Natasha Denona. I'm going to compare it to the Star palette. I'm going to try and create the same look using these two palettes. And I'm super excited because this is so freaking expensive. I know it is. So in my Natasha Denona Star palette, I'm first going to take this matte brown, and I do just want to blend this all over the lid. I kind of want it more as like a transition shade. There are of course better transition shades in this palette, but not that necessarily come in the Wet n Wild palette. So I'm going to try and make do, and then working into the crease because I know I'm going to put another shade all over the lid. so I don't really care about what's on my lid, and we really don't need that much product there. But I don't always like to just go ahead and stamp my crease, because sometimes to me, that can make my eyeshadow a little patchy. I don't know about you guys. So I'm just working this around. I really don't want too much. I just want some definition from it. I'm then going to pop into the Wet n Wild palette, and I'm going to take this brown shade, which I think they're pretty close in shade actually. And I want to start obviously working this into this crease over here. This one is blending just as well in my opinion. It is doing a great job. It's maybe not quite as deep, I don't know. I'm also going to bounce into a little bit of this, like, how would you describe this? It's like a very lighter, cool toned purple, and just run it through the crease on top of the shade we already left. And that will do a little bit of blending into our brow bone. Then in the Natasha Denona palette, I'm going to jump into this shade here, which I believe is very similar to the one in the Wet n Wild palette. And I'm going to use that again to aid in the blending process. So just run that over everything. I think that's pretty good in comparison. I think they're not too far off, the both of them. Next on top of the eye, I want to jump into this burgundy shade in the Wet n Wild palette. And I want to go ahead and pop that on top of my lid. All over. It literally took me hours to find all the products for this video, you guys. It's not as easy as it looks. But I was going through my collection, I was like, dang, it can actually be a little difficult sometimes to match up a drugstore to a high-end product. Well, I was trying to do ones I've never done before. Oh, I'm living for this shadow. I think it's beautiful. I'm going to take a clean Sigma E40 brush, and I'm going to just use that to blend all the shades together on my lid. Then in my Natasha Denona palette, I think the closest would be this one. I don't think they're exact. This one might be a hint more of like an orchid shade. Might need a dab of this one. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I guess that's the beauty of these videos, but I'm going to go ahead and pop this on my lid. This one is definitely a bit brighter, I guess I would say. It's a brighter burgundy. I'm almost wondering if I added a bit of this shade on my lid, if it would like deepen it up enough to where it kind of masks it, or they kind of look the same. It's so funny that right now I'm trying to recreate the burgundy that just comes in a little Wet n Wild palette with like $100-something odd palette. It's just really funny. It looks like that's the closest I'm probably going to get those two shadows to match. I think it's not bad. It's definitely not exact, I'm sorry, but it's not bad, right? I'm going to take a smaller detail brush with my e.l.f. Cosmetics Illuminating Mist and Set, and I'm going to spray that. Ooh, it's got a nice spray on it. And I'm going to dip it into this super duper shimmery, glimmery, nudie pink shade in the palette, the Wet n Wild palette. And this I just want to pop right in the center. That's breaking it up nicely there. I'm not taking it all the way over on either side. This I know is probably a million times more shimmery than the Wet n Wild palette. So I'm just going to dab a little bit in there, just like that, get the flakes that I want, and apply that to the center. Because I'm sure, yeah, this one is like super. I will say, that is the cool thing about the Natasha Denona palettes. Like these little shadows here, I think, with all the shimmer and glimmer in them, are just like really mesmerizingly beautiful. Truly, I do. Isn't that fun? They're definitely different, but they're definitely similar in my opinion. So for liner on the high-end side, I'm excited to try this because I've been using the other shades of this week and I've really been liking it. It's the Makeup Forever Aqua Paint Color Paint in the shade M10, which I believe is a matte black, so I'm excited to try it as eyeliner. And I'm going to use this obviously as our eyeliner. On the other eye, I'm going to take the e.l.f. Cosmetics Cream Eyeliner in the shade Black. Look how pretty that looks, like before it's been touched. I think that looks so yummy. I just want to like, dive into it. All things considered, I think that's pretty great. I went a little too thick because I'm a jerk. To tightline, I'm going to take the Jordana Easy Eyeliner for Eyes in the shade Jet Black. So I'm going to run this on my waterline all the way around and then also bring it up onto my upper lash line to tightline in between. And then on the high end side, I'm going to take the Urban Decay 24/7 Waterline Eye Pencil in the shade Legend. I'm actually just going to take my fingers and rub both of those in, kind of smudge them into my lash line. I'm then going to take some of the brown in the Star palette and smudge it into that liner to lock it in and give us a nice little smoky fade out. And then I'm going to do that same thing with this brown, or espresso, I guess is a better type of shade. And I'm also going to buff that into this lash line. So before mascara and everything else, I kind of want to clean up the under eye. For the drugstore side, I'm going to use my Wet n Wild contour palette in the shade Caramel Toffee? Yes, Caramel Toffee. So for this, I'm going to take the yellow brightening side, and I want to use this to clean up underneath my eyes. So popping that right here, using it to sweep off any shadow that may have fallen out, but also using it to just kind of brighten up under there. I'm going to do the same on this side of the face, but I'm going to take my Urban Decay Shapeshifter palette, the Naked Skin, and this is the medium to dark one. It has the more yellow toned powder in there, so I'm going to take that, and I'm going to use this the same way I just used the Wet n Wild to pop it under here and use it to fan out and blend. I don't know why I always say fan out, but blend out that color. Blend out underneath the eyes, clean up any fallout, that type of thing. For contouring, I'm also going to go into my e.l.f. Cosmetics contour palette, and I'm going to take, I guess this darkest one here along the side of my nose to just do a very, very, very light contour here. I don't want to do too much. Just like that, and then I'm going to jump back into my Naked Skin as well. My stomach is growling. Feed me, Seymour. Thumbs up if you are a little Shop of Horrors fan. Just like that. There's this light is casting a terrible shadow right here. I always hate that. Next for mascara, I'm going to take my Butter London Iconoclast mascara on my high-end side here. Throw this on my lashes. I love this mascara. Oh no! Fudged up. I'm going to have to knock that off in a second. But I love this mascara. I really do. And the brush is really interesting. I think it does a great job of like separating my lashes. Can't forget the bottom ones, which I always do. And it's like so important on my eyes at least. Oh my god, I love how this separates. It does such a beautiful job. Beautiful. And on the drugstore side, I'm going to use the Lash Renegade by Wet n Wild, and I thought this would be the most comparable for London. They both kind of have that bald and bald. Made me think of my dad because he's bald. I'm going to use this because it just, yeah, it's very similar to me. It's very reminiscent of the Butter London, where they both are very similar to each other. I do think I prefer the Butter London, and I'm never like, I don't always need to use a high-end mascara. For the majority, actually usually use drugstore mascara. What do you guys think? I don't know if you can tell. I think they both look great, but I do prefer the Butter London lashes. Next for blush, I'm going to throw and I know we already have the cream blush on, which I do love, but it kind of faded around in all my playtime today. So I'm going to take the Benefit Cosmetics Rockateur blush. We're going to use this on the high-end side with a Sigma contour brush. Just lightly gonna dab some of that on, just because I told you guys, just like Kate Middleton, I love a very flushy cheek. That's perfect. On the drugstore side, I'm gonna add some CoverGirl True Blend blush in the shade L Light. Is that it? Yes, this is the 100 Light blush. And I think they're pretty similar. They definitely don't look exact, but I think they're gonna do the same thing. It's like pink with a sheen, right? So I just wanna blend that right on top of the blush we already laid down. California, California, Whoa. I have that song stuck in my head, I don't know why. So for lips, you guys, we're gonna get a little crazy. I'm gonna take first off the Makeup Forever lip liner. This is their Aqua Lip in the shade 13C. You can kind of see it's kind of like a berry, like a raisin. I'm gonna line this half of my lips with this one, and then I'm gonna use a drugstore one on the other side, of course. I don't know. Oh, it is much deeper than I thought. I thought it was gonna be lighter than this, so I'm gonna try and press it lightly. And then I'm blending it in kind of with my fingers. Just like that. Wow, it's crazy. Like, this is like the power of makeup all over again. The difference between my lips with lip liner and without lip liner. And then on the drugstore side, I'm going to use, this is, again, Wet n Wild. Sorry, guys, I have a lot of Wet n Wilds. Wet n Wild gel lip liner in the shade Plum Together. That is quite a bit brighter than I expected. I actually thought it was going to be a little bit deeper. On top of those lip liners, I know they're not exact. I'm sorry, I really goofed that up. I can't lie. I'm going to use 2 liquid lipsticks, which I'm so excited to compare. So I just got this one in the mail from e.l.f. This is e.l.f. Cosmetics Praline Liquid Lipstick. So I'm going to try this on top of our drugstore side. I actually wonder if this is a gloss, not a liquid lipstick. Lip lacquer. Oh, it is. It's a lip lacquer, so it's glossy. I thought this was going to be a matte liquid lip. Gosh darn it, we almost made it through the video of doing like almost exact, and then this is where I goofed up. This is Dose of Colors Truffle Liquid Lipstick, and it's just what I thought would be the closest. They just look very similar to me in the bottle. Oh, it's definitely not exact. I have one here from Huda Beauty Trendsetter that might be a little bit deeper. I'm gonna add that. Oh yeah, Trendsetter's a little bit closer. Oh, so much better. To just bump up our highlighter a little bit, I'm gonna take the Becca Cosmetics Opal highlighter with this fan brush here from Sigma Beauty. I'm gonna take that, just pop a little here. Then on the opposite side, I'm gonna take Precious Petals by Wet n Wild. Ugh, love this highlighter. This is just like a total favorite. Okay, so to set the high-end side of my face, I'm gonna take the Smashbox Primer Water. I like don't know how to block off my face. Beautiful. And then on the opposite side, I'm gonna take e.l.f. Cosmetics Illuminating Mist and Set. I don't know what the difference is on this side, but this is like super, oh, I love that. We're pretty much done, you guys. I'm actually just gonna take a little bit of lip gloss, just clear gloss to even out my lips and just kind of make this glossy since it's a matte. Alright fam, that's it for my high-end versus drugstore makeup tutorial. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I think they are pretty similar. I know they're not exact, but I think I did a pretty good job. This again is the drugstore side and this is going to be your high-end side. It just goes to show that you don't truly need the over $100 eyeshadow palette to create a beautiful look. I did pretty much the same look on this eye and I actually like this eye better, and it is a Wet n Wild palette. Like, that's amazing to me, the Au Naturel palette. So I love this. I highly recommend this palette, and I still love my Star palette. Don't get me wrong, like I still think that this eye is gorgeous. I love the Star palette. I know it's way too expensive, I agree, it is way too high priced, but I still absolutely love it and I do not regret buying it one bit. I do love the shadows in it and I think they're very pretty and blendable and they work really well in my opinion. As far as like foundation coverage, I think that they both look the same, the Wet n Wild versus the matte. Honestly, everything was pretty great. And what I'm really excited for and what I'm excited I was able to try in this video is the e.l.f. Beauty Shield, this vitamin C pollution preservation serum. I think that's amazing and I'm excited that I don't have to go out and buy another Farsali. I mean, I really enjoyed the Farsali care, and not that this is a dupe, I don't want to say that. But I really love using an oil before my makeup, and to repurchase the Makeup Forever or the Farsali that I use will probably grow to be quite expensive for something that you don't even like see on your skin really. So I'm excited to keep using the e.l.f. Cosmetics one and see how it works on me. If you want to check out any more of these products, I will link them down below so you can check them out yourself. Let me know if you like these types of videos so I can do more in the comments down below. And thank you for watching as always, you guys. I love you. Talk to you again soon. Bye!